What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another rundown. Not an NBA rundown. We're doing a tennis rundown. I got Suzy here with me. We are watching Montreal and Toronto as we gear up the hard court swing for the U.S. Open. Suzy, how you doing today?
I'm good. Here watching this golf match.
Yeah, I got Coco on TV as well. A little disappointed. I gave out Coco over in the last match, and Coco routined her, which was great for your DFS lineups. Not too good for my bets. But let's jump into tomorrow. But you know what? We weren't going to do this, but we were having a great conversation right before it started, and the match is going to start here. Let's talk about Danielle versus Simona because I kind of thought that Danielle just I know that the fatigue is there, but she's played so much, and Simona hasn't played since I can't remember what tournament she was hurt in Rome or Madrid, but it's been a while. Why do you like Simona here? Let me know because I was leaning Danielle.
I mean, just from a betting perspective, Danielle's off two tournaments. She went to the finals, won both. Yeah, her form is great, but I mean, she has to be tired. Halep is a more accomplished player. She's better. I know we haven't seen Halep play since she pulled out right before the French, but I mean, if you're betting, like you have a chance to bet on somebody who was a number 2 player in the world and just dropped out of the top 10 because she hasn't been playing. I mean, why not take a
You
chance?
You convinced me. I think I'm going to jump in. So, all right, guys, we weren't even going to do today, but we were talking about that right before the clock ticked over. So I figure I just had to get those on the air for you guys because I thought it was like an interesting. And also, we disagreed, and we're probably going to be doing a lot of agreeing for the rest of the show. So we had to throw that out there. But let's start talking about tomorrow on Toronto. That's where the men are playing this year. And I don't. Okay, now it's finally pulling up. The first match that we will have is James Duckworth at plus 657, plus 5 on a total of 20.5, and he's playing against Daniil Medvedev, who had quite the fun little incident there yesterday. Did you see that?
I
Where
just saw it right now. I just retweeted it. I was cracking up. What? Like, what? How did they call a penalty on him for that?
he called
That's
a penalty on himself, didn't he?
that has to be. I just watched. Oh my god. I don't even want to
Yeah.
know.
So, it's always fun when they're having more drama on the men's side than the women's. It's definitely something that's changed over the last 3 years. But regardless, minus 1,011, minus 5, 20.5. Is there any reason to get involved in this match at all, or do you want to just go on to the next one?
Medvedev rolls like that. That's not even a challenge for him. He should win.
So he's minus 1,100. I'm guessing he's going to be about 1,100 on DK. Is he worth the
Probably
spend up, you think?
10,000. He'll be in the 10,000. I don't think I've ever seen somebody be 10,000 more than 10,000.
Djokovic has before in the early rounds, I believe.
Yeah.
I think so. I could be wrong. Regardless, though, even let's say he's at 10-5, do we put him in there, or is that really going to hamper our ability to build a
That's gonna
balanced
hamper.
lineup?
It's a lot of. I think a lot of favorites win tomorrow, so I don't know if
Okay.
I'd reach. He's gonna be too expensive.
Okay, cool. And I like that too because I think a lot of people are going to have him in the lineup, right? Because he's the biggest favorite of the
Good,
day.
yeah. It's funny because when I see Djokovic or Nadal and they're the highest price, and like
Hmm.
now see Nadal 50%, I'm like, how are you building this?
Yeah, I know. It's just you're just gunning on some of these big dogs here. So, all right, we're going to stay away from Medvedev altogether here. I mean, I guess under 20.5 would be my best um, play here, but I don't really want to get involved because the 7-5 first set pretty much tanks you. So um, I'm going to stay away from that one as well. Here's an interesting one, and I think that you might have a play here, and I was a little scared to join you here, so maybe you can convince me. Andre Rublev is minus 189, John Isner plus 153. Isner's at plus 2 games, and the over is 23.5. What do you think of these two hard hitters facing off?
Well, if he's not getting his first serve in like he wasn't today, I think Rublev should beat him. But I
Hmm.
mean, it's so hard to like when it comes to DFS in these matches. If you don't play Ishner and he wins, and you don't have him and he wins in straights, you're screwed. But if Ishner's a dog and his value on DK, like you always take a shot there because you never know. But in the end, Rublev's a better player. Rublev should be able to beat him. Doesn't say is I mean Isner can win that match any day, but he has to have his serve like just dialed in.
Yeah. At plus 158, what do you think he'll be between like 6,000 and 6,500?
Yeah, around there.
Do you think he's going to make your way into the lineup, or do you think maybe we can find a better spot?
I'll probably take a shot on him, but I mean, it's hard. Cash, yeah, why not? I mean, it really depends. I would prefer to avoid that match because I think it could go three. But if I
Hmm.
was going to play someone, it'd be Ishner.
Got it. All right. Thank you. That is good. Yeah, I think at plus 150, there's a little bit of temptation for me to jump in there on Isner, but we talked about it earlier with Danielle, right? He had a long week as well. Um, and then anything that's over 3 or 4 shots, right? Isner's probably going to lose
Oh
like
yeah,
75% of those. So
for sure, for sure, for sure.
yeah. So yeah, if you're doing great this week and you want some action, plus 150 on Isner is not the worst bet. But at the same time, I think discretion is the better part of valor here, and there's no reason to feel bad about passing on this match. Here's another one. Here's a guy that I did not expect to win his last match. Dusan Lajovic is now plus 202 against Casper Ruud. Were you surprised to see Lajovic, get to this round? And what do you think of this match?
Rude should win. I mean, Rude's going to win that easily. These are two clay quarters, and Rude's the better hardcourt player. I mean, he just beat
Mm,
Silic, who I was very high on Rude to win that one. I can't believe Lajovic. I can't believe Felix lost to him, especially at home. I expect,
unbelievable, huh?
I
What is
expect the
Felix
Felix to win
doing?
that match.
Yeah.
He's all over the place.
He is too, and when he's on, he's brilliant. So it gets disappointing when you back him and you got the version that you got yesterday. So obviously, I don't know, -3.5. Do you get involved there? Do you think he rolls that much? Or I was thinking of just using him as a parlay piece because I have some favorites on the women's side that I'd like to combine him with.
Yeah, I like
Um,
Rude. Rude should win. I like
do
him
you
in
think I
two.
should parlay him with someone else though, and just lay, or do you think I should lay 3.5 games?
You could put him with somebody else.
Yeah, I think that's the way to go too.
Girls, put him with them.
Yeah, a lot of the guys I work with, they're pretty good at identifying these spots to lay games. I'm really bad at it. I much rather jump in on these money lines and parlay them all together. Another fun match here was Karen Hashanov, and he was arguing about what's considered a bad word or not. Did you see that?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, so he got in trouble. That's a fun video too. We'll tweet it out
I'll look
after this. Yeah, you'll laugh about that. Hashanov is plus 196. Stefanos is minus 250. You know what? I might not even need to go to the women's side. I think
Stefanos
Stefanos rolls them.
rolls him. Yeah. There's a lot of rolling tomorrow. Goff is rolling. Wow.
Yeah, I'm big on Hashanov too, right? And I was singing his praises pre-tournament. I wasn't impressed with what I saw against Karatsev.
Oh no.
It was a terrible
Tsitsipas
match.
looks like he's getting his mind back and his game back.
Yeah, yeah. and and he's quoting the movie 300, right? So he's ready. He's ready for battle here. You know what? I think that's going to be my parlay. Let me see what that gets me to right now. If I just put Rude and Stefanos together, 100. So 100 pays 94. So that's probably about minus what? Well, minus 105, maybe a little less. Minus 106, minus 107. That's not bad at all. I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. So I like Stefanos and Casper Ruud. The last match that we have right now that I have lines for is Riley Opelka's minus 104, Lloyd Harris minus 118. So it's basically a
That's gonna
pick, slightly
be
juiced towards Harris, and 25.5 on the total.
that's gonna be your two mid range on the slate tomorrow. God, I hate playing Opelka sometimes because he has such a good serve and he can do great. I mean, he just beat Nick, so if he could beat Nick, he could
Yeah,
beat Lloyd.
but
Lloyd's in
were you
great.
impressed by that? Nick just seemed
No,
like
I
he
mean
was
I'm not
like,
impressed. Nick's a head case. Am I
yeah,
impressed?
it
No,
was like that point at 4-4 in the tiebreak, right?
he
Like
just
it just
gives
seemed like
away.
he quit after that.
Exactly. That's he always does. But like Opelka's another one like Ishner. Like if he's hitting his aces and he wins, I mean it's all about the ace. If his serve's working, he's not gonna get broken. And it just
So
takes him
basically, are
getting.
you telling me there's no way Lloyd Harris goes in your build? It's either
Oh, I'll
Opelka
have both
or
sides. I'll have both
okay.
sides. It's just tough to choose. I mean, Lloyd's playing great. I don't know. I think Opelka wins.
So I haven't watched Harris at all this week. How is his serve?
It's good.
Will he get you there
He
with
hits
aces?
aces. He hits aces. I mean, he's not like them, but he can serve.
Okay.
Um, I just he looked really Harris looked really good today, so that's where I'm like, oh,
Yeah, and I'll be it's a it's a win over a name, right? But if you watch the match and you watch Kyrgios quit, it was like I don't know. To me, it felt like he should have won. Kyrgios could have won that match, and that he chose to lose. because he got frustrated.
That's exactly what he does.
That's why it's like, JJ and I talked about betting him, and it's almost like it's one of your first rites of passages when you're tennis betting. It's just learning not to bet on his matches. I mean,
So
it's just insane, like how he can look so good and just fall apart so quickly. All right, there's a couple matches that I do not have lines for, and I'd love to get your thoughts on them, and maybe you can even tell me what you think they're going to be lined at. And it's funny; these are actually interesting matches. Bashel Beasley, Basil, I call him, and Hubie Hurkacz are playing tomorrow. What do you think that was going to be lined? I think Hurkacz will be about minus 180, minus 200 there. What do you think of that match?
I like Kirk. I definitely like Kirk. I'm a big fan of his.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, Basil's in some form. Who did
Yeah, I
he?
know.
Who did he play today? I already forgot. But Alex. Um,
Remember when he was good? They were all saying that in my
yeah.
chat today.
Well,
Remember when Demon Arrow was good?
last year, Basil couldn't win a game when he was going through that domestic violence case, and
Yeah,
he
and that
was
makes sense, right? I mean, you got this huge thing that's not only affecting your livelihood, your relationships,
it's your life.
it's your reputation too, right? So it makes
And
sense that he would be consumed like that.
so, I mean, he can play. I think Kirk's going to be a little bit more rested, and not that Basil played often today. I mean, he crushed. He went right through this guy. So, but I'll take Kirk. But for DFS wise, I mean, you can take a shot on Basil for GPP.
Ah, I got it. All right. Let's see. There's some good stuff there that I don't always think about. That's why I like talking with you about this stuff. Another one is that we don't have a line for Diego Schwartzman and RBA.
I think that's an interesting match. That's probably going to be that's tough. I mean, common sense tells me RBA, but
Yeah.
he's been in awful form. He looked much better today, but the last few weeks, I mean, he's been losing matches. I mean, against people that he should be beating. Diego is more of a clay quarter, but obviously he can play hard court, and he's a grinder. He'll grind out those matches.
Yeah.
I'm torn on that one. I don't know. I'll take RBA.
Yeah, and that's where the DFS thing is tough, right? So from a betting perspective, I can just cross that match off, right? I'm just like, I don't want
No,
to get
yeah,
involved there.
yeah, you have to pick some. If hopefully you get enough matches that I can fade it because that match could easily go three.
Yeah.
I prefer not to touch it, so
Yeah.
um, I could
You
see it
know
going.
what's funny though is if it's evenly priced, how do you think that price comes out? I think RBA is what,
And
maybe
they'll be
maybe
in the
minus
mid range.
130.
You'll see the Opelka match be like that divider between your favorites and
Yeah.
your non-favorites, and I can see Diego and him right after.
Yeah. And I think from a DFS perspective, RBA's got a way more chance to blow out Diego than Diego does RBA. So
Mm-hmm.
if they're very similarly priced and I fall there, and it's between those two, I think I would prefer RBA. But from a betting perspective, I think this is a very tough match to call. I like RBA a lot, but you make a great point about his form, and he just doesn't really seem too interested in hard courts. Rather than dial up here, he went
No,
and played 2 clay tournaments, which would be fine, except for he lost. So it's like, not only did you skip the preparation for this tournament, you didn't
you're
even get any
playing.
points out of it. So
Yeah.
yeah, that was frustrating. All right, so that wraps up the men's side. Hopefully, you guys got some ideas on where these builds are going to go. Let's go to my preferred side, the women. They're in Montreal right now. Potapova is currently
That's what I'm
taking a
looking at. What is she
timeout.
doing? She's like
She's
leaning
taking
over.
a
She's gonna
yeah.
quit. Cough is rolling her, and she's just like, screw this.
Potapova's always had those issues though. She's always been a quitter.
Yeah.
She won't necessarily do it like this, but what she'll do is when she gets frustrated, she'll just start hitting as hard as she can on every shot, and just
We're hitting double
she either hits
fault.
a winner or hits it out, and the match is over in like heck of fast. I'm not saying that she's not physically ill here,
She's
because I don't want
crying.
to say
Is
that.
she crying? Yeah, she's crying. We'll see.
Wow.
That'll be good for Goff. I always root for her. She's
Do you
another
have
player.
golf in your lineup?
No, I
Oh, okay.
did, and I switched. I have one that's good. It's just balanced, so I couldn't
Okay.
reach her.
Poor Potapova. I like her, but she does have these issues where she gets down on herself in the match. And I don't want to say this like I'm disparaging her because she's what 18 or 19 years old, like on TV, like you know. So I don't want to come off as bad. I'm just saying that she does have issues with not believing in herself during the match. So If I was a little harsh earlier, please forgive me. Let's talk about Rebecca Marino is plus 527 to Arena Sabalenka, who some people think is the best in the world. I do not. Um, I thought Sabalenka was very lucky to get away with that win today. And we talked about it before we went on. You were a little disagreed. You gave Sabalenka credit. I felt that Sloane really let down. I mean, I don't know. It's not
Yeah,
she.
it's tough. I just Sloane's all over the place, but she's playing much better. But I thought, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. So, so this is going to be the second highest line of the day here. Will
Which
you be
one?
looking to get involved with her? I'm not going to bet this at all. We're not even going to talk about the
Who
betting
are you
for it.
talking?
Sabalenka versus Marino, who beat.
That
I
girl's
can't
this
believe
girl's
she beat Badosa, who's one of my favorites. I was so
but also
upset.
beat her like 6-1 the first set, and I don't
Yeah, I
know.
know.
There's things that I don't understand, and that's one of them. You beat Keys, you beat Bedosa. Her run ends here. Don't even think of some like darling thing. There's no way.
Beating Keys isn't that crazy though, because Keys beats herself.
Yeah, Keys, whatever. I'm
Yeah,
not surprised. This one I was surprised.
I was too.
She loses. I wouldn't be surprised if she got bageled.
I
Like
know.
if I'm gonna pay up for somebody, I'm paying up for Sabalenka. I'll
Okay,
tell you
cool.
right now.
That's the information we were looking for. So,
Hundred
guys, don't bet it, but consider it as a spend up on your DFS builds. This one's going to be even, right? It's going to be just like that Opelka Harris match we talked about earlier. Balanced build. You're gonna have to pick this match. It's Vika Azarenka versus Maria Sakkari. On these conditions, I like
That's another
Maria
one right
here.
there. Give me. I'll take Maria.
You like Maria as well?
I'll take the younger. I mean, what's their head to head? Let me look that up.
I don't know if they have a good head to head, but I do know that Vika traditionally does not do well here in Canada. I'm surprised
They
she's even made it
played
this far.
in 2020 October in Ostrava, and Azarenka
Uh-huh.
beat her 6-1, 6-3.
Yeah, but that was when Azarenka was peaking.
Yeah, she was at the end of last year. She was like crushing everybody, and I was.
Yeah.
I understand. That's tough. I mean, Maria's the better player. Azarenka looked good last night. Felt bad for my guy AP. I fell
I
asleep,
know, huh?
and I woke up and I was like, "Oh shit, she scored that high for real." I couldn't believe it. That's just bad, bad luck, but all good. We'll get another one. That's another match that
I
I
just
think.
moved the line 1 cent.
What'd you say?
It's now I just bet it and the line moved 1 cent. She's now minus 112. I'm
Yeah,
on Maria here. I love it.
take Maria. You have to take Maria there. She's a better player.
I just think that Vika's in here for the long haul, right? Maria wants every point, every match. She's trying to make a name for herself. She's still coming up. She's young. Vika knows, hey, I just need to get a couple matches in here. Then I go to Cincinnati, which is way better for my game. I'll pick up even more points there. But the whole point of this is to get ready for the U.S. Open, right?
She retired. Told you she was done.
Yeah, I mean,
She retired.
and who knows what's going on with her? So,
Yeah. No, yeah. Give me Maria there. But for those of you that run multiple lineups, I mean, Azarenka is. I mean, she's not a bad play.
the thing is, I think that Azarenka's got a better chance to quote unquote break the slate and
Oh yeah,
blow out
she. I mean,
Maria.
Azarenka can. There's days that she's just knocking
Yeah,
everything in. She's not double faulting, and that's when you want her because she'll break the
yeah.
slate.
Because Vika can win 2-2. I don't think Maria wins. Even if Maria wins, it's gonna be like 6-4, 7-5, 6-4, 6-3, right? I mean, she can't blow her away. She can't get enough breaks, but I think Vika can get the breaks.
Oh yeah, she can get him. It's
So
if Vika for serve. If she's serving right, she'll be okay. I mean Maria today is double faulting way too much, and if she's double faulting like that, I mean Azarenka will. I mean Azarenka can rally. It's her serves that kill her.
if you're doing a single build, I still like Maria.
Oh yeah.
Just, but if you're doing a multiple build, don't put Maria in every one. Like split your exposure evenly, because Vika's got a better upside there. I do think Maria wins though, and I did make that bet at minus 111 and moved it 1 cent. Boy, what a sharp I am. Let's go on to the next match we have. One of my favorites who hasn't played good since like 2018.
Let me
And
see.
all of a sudden, her doubles partner came along, and she felt a little left out. Now she's playing well too. Katerina Siniakova is playing another girl that we had. If you listen to our podcast in 2019, we were sending her to the ITF, but now she's just fantastic.
And on
Sarah
hard
Sorribes
court,
Tormo.
she
What?
was a clay quarter, and now, I mean, to me, she plays
Yeah,
better on hard court. 100%.
yeah.
I'd rather play her on hard court than I would on clay. That's gonna be a fun match. Let me tell you, if Siniakova is a value, she's gonna be really chalky, in my opinion.
Hmm.
Um, she just beat Muguruza. She crushed who I don't remember who she played her first match, but she crushed her too.
She played Penko. Both those,
Oh
both
yeah,
those players gave her the match. You can't take anything from those wins.
but I mean, I would take a shot at Siniakova if she's value. Who wins that one? I'm gonna take. I think I'm gonna ride Siniakova's form right now.
All right, yeah, I'm staying away from this one at minus 137. I mean, I think that's down to about 41% equity or somewhere around there. I mean, Ksenia would have to win 59% of the time or more. I don't like that. I don't trust her. I really think that both Ostapenko and Muguruza just gave her the match. I mean, it's just two of the most inconsistent players
Well,
that
I
will
mean,
beat
Sirius is
themselves.
the better player, should be her, but like I swear to you, on these tournaments, you just start riding those hot runs that these players have, and they
Yeah.
make it deep. And right
And
now,
Siniakova's best is 5 times better than Tormo's best. The difference between the players is Tormo's at 90% or better 90% of the time. Siniakova's at her best like 10% of the time.
exactly.
And her
So
worst is absolutely awful, which is why even though I favor her here, unless you have multiple builds, I wouldn't put her in. Her chance of just destroying your lineup and putting up like a 12 are too high. So
oh yeah,
unless you fall on her or you have multiple builds, I stay away from both sides on this match. The other
but
thing is Tormo's
Siniakova,
not going to get you a lot of winners.
you'll get. She won't be as low owned as she was the last two slates.
Yeah.
There's no way.
So let me see if there's any matches that we do not have lines on, and then we will be done.
I see
Um,
Pliskova and Isamova.
yeah, yeah. What do you think of that one?
It's another good one. I want to say Amanda, but I just can't. I don't trust her, so I'm gonna go with Pliskova. Well, honestly, I'm not gonna touch that match. I hate playing Pliskova. I said it yesterday, and look, she went 3 today against Donna.
She squeaked that match out,
Yes, and Donna's playing really good
and
right
Donna
now.
didn't look that good to me.
And Amanda looked 2 matches in a row has looked great. I hate playing Pliskova. Pliskova's gonna go 3. You can play her. She's cash safe. I just don't like her for tournaments because she double faults and she's going to go 3. Amanda is another person that double faults. Amanda can win this match right now in her form, but I'm not playing Amanda after what she did to me last week. So
I agree. This is a complete stay away from a betting and a DFS perspective. We talked about this one briefly, and then we'll wrap up after this one. Petra Kvitova versus Camila Georgi, right? It's going to be like Opelka versus Schwartzman, right? With the height difference out there. How do you think this one
it
turns
is.
out?
Give it over.
Yeah, I think Kvitova wins too. The thing that Georgie's got going for it from her famous quote, she doesn't watch women's tennis, so she doesn't realize she's going against one of the best players. Like she just thinks it's just some other
She's
girl.
not dumb. She knows.
Have you seen that quote though? How like
I
she
saw her.
can't tell you anything about any of the other players on tour. I really wonder what she does all day. Like how could you like I don't know. It's just so crazy. Like you're not like just curious as what's going on.
Yeah, I don't know. But I don't. She was very low owned today. I think I was looking a little bit ago. She was 11%, and she was favored.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna touch her, and she went in straights, and I'll eat that loss. Podoroska was 2 over, sir, and I just don't play Camila. She didn't double fall much again, so that's what she's been doing. She's been practicing her serves.
Yeah, well, at least she's practicing, right? Because she's obviously not watching. She's obviously not scouting. But she looked pretty fit today. I thought she was moving around the court pretty well, and she's always dangerous because her best. She's like Siniakova, and where her best is really good, but her variance is really high.
Oh, yeah.
So All right, cool. Well, I hope everybody got a good idea of how to build their lineups. This was a lot of fun for me. I made a couple bets. Susie, did you want to give out any bets that we talked about, or do you want to just let me take care of that?
Let me see if you can. Anybody want a live bet? If they missed in the
Simona goes
beginning,
down.
it's only 2-1. Everybody's on serve still.
Simona's at plus
Well, I would
126 right now.
actually. I do have one. I would live bet Shap right now if he's gone to a dog. I see Tiafo just broke him.
Yeah.
Can you?
You're
I
live
can't.
bet.
If
You're
another,
live betting Shapovalov TFO.
I would. He's at
I mean,
home.
that feels like just playing some roulette.
No, he's at home. He's gonna win.
All right. Is he gonna rap when he's done?
Is he gonna what? Rap?
Did you see him when he rapped? I think it was here. It was here 2 years ago.
Oh, look, I would lie. Look, it's gonna change. Give me that. Dennis is gonna win this match, so I would take that. And if you didn't
Okay.
hear, get
We'll
it on
do that
how
right now. We will do that right now. All right, I just placed my Simona. I will place my other one. And guys, and then I'm going to use my bet slip, and I'm going to give out the 2 bets I made during the show. So thank you, Susie, for leading me in the right direction. The first one we're going to do is we're going to parlay Tsitsipas and Rude. That gets us down to about minus 105. I'm fine playing that. We both love the matchups for both players, and we're getting quality players that we enjoy backing. The second one is Maria Sakkari. I like her at minus 111, but be careful because even though I do think she's going to win, I don't necessarily know if that's the best DFS play. I like it much better as a gambling play. Susie and I will probably be back sometime next week, and this time we're going to be in Cincinnati. The matches are going to be quicker. The courts are going to be quicker. And
Oh yeah,
Madison Keys actually has a chance to do something. So, Susie, you got anything else before we get out of here?
I don't.
Well, thank you for hanging out. Thank you for putting me in the right direction. Hope everybody enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me on Twitter at Astaire. If not, head over to runpurebets.com. Check out everything we have to offer, or runpuresports.com. Use the promo code GetBets25. You'll have access to Susie's core. You'll have access to my bets and much, much more. So thank you, everybody, for hanging out, and run pure.